What's going on, my There Soul family? It's Dallas here. You're tapped into another video. And this particular video, I want to talk about the power of mentorship and, the unlocking of potential. So, a quick story. So, for probably about the past month, I had been, feeling it a little bit like torn in terms of what I was doing, the direction in which I was going. Felt like the things I was doing, the sense of satisfaction that it had given to me before wasn't there. And then also I could sense a tug and a pull to go in a different direction. Or should I say maybe lean more into a direction that I was already going in. But I just couldn't do it because I wouldn't say I couldn't do it. I didn't do it, and I wasn't really locking into it because I was nervous and afraid about what that would look like for me day to day. Because as we know, when we take on different tasks, when we start doing new endeavors, it takes time, it takes energy. You have to reprioritize what you already have going on in your life. It takes a lot of dedication and commitment. And as a result, I was just nervous about man, I've really gotten to a really good space. And in terms of work is good. Fitness is good, family is good. And I was just like, I don't want to have to rearrange and start to change my priority list that much because I like where I am. But sometimes, whether it's practically or spiritually, there's a tug for more. There's a tug that pulls us in a different direction. And no matter what we do, no matter how much we try to run from it, it's just going to be there until we, essentially lean into it. So I reached out to my big bro. I really did. I reached out to him because I had been dealing with it for a while. And I told him, man, exactly what I just shared with y'all, how I've been feeling. Hey, I'm feeling like I'm being pulled in a different direction, but I'm kind of afraid of losing myself. And he just began to speak into my life in a wise way. And that's why my brother, I don't necessarily consider him my mentor, but he's someone I always go to when I'm looking for clarity or if I'm looking for wisdom, because he's older, he's already experienced a lot of life, more life than I have, and he's a wise person, so I always go to him. And it just began when he spoke to me and told me what was going on. He was able to just bring clarity. For one, I didn't have clarity on what I was trying to articulate. I was just saying, oh, this is how I feel, this is what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. I was just kind of all over the place. I was looking for him to kind of unpack what was going on and be able to okay, I poured out all this stuff, and then he was like, okay, this is what you're trying to say. This is what I'm hearing from you. Is that correct? And it was like, boom, yes. And he began to tell me you don't have to be afraid of, because I was afraid and still kind of nervous and anxious about it, of, how do I want to say this? Just kind of losing the good part I had, that just everything that's good that's kind of going on, and that just in my mind makes me a little anxious of man, things just got good, I don't want to mess with it, but he was just able to just kind of give me a peaceful resolve of, and he said something along the lines of, whenever you're going into a more purposeful direction, yes, it's going to require work, it's going to require commitment, it's going to require you to revisit what you prioritize. However, it's going to be more fulfilling to your soul. It's going to pull from what's already in you, your gifting and your passion. And it just immediately started dawning on me this was more of a God thing, that was being flushed out through practical frustrations, and just him being able to articulate it in that way was powerful for me. And that's why I said earlier, it's important for us to have a mentor, and they're able to unlock the potential and unlock, what's kind of been locked up or unused, or just how do I want to say this? may be paralyzed from fear that's in us. Like, they're able to unlock those things and speak to it and encourage us and affirm us and remind us of, who we are and where we're going and how to get into it. And it was so powerful for me. It really felt like I got the monkey off my back. Like, it was just like, wow, because I was able to not only like talk to someone, but I was also able to get clarity and understanding. It even made on the spiritual tip, it gave like more direction to my prayers, because I now had clarity. And that's the simple thing that I just kind of want to speak to you all about today. For one, have either an open line of communication with someone who's been where you are or going or been where you are, or they're older than you and can speak wisdom into your life and kind of help you unpack what you're experiencing, right? And then two, to understand that they're in your life to help unlock some things. So don't get nervous about them maybe being either critical or challenging you. So don't be nervous about that, because sometimes when you're looking to unlock some things in someone's life or even in our own lives, it could be a bit tough because we're either not used to hearing it or not maybe necessarily weren't ready to hear it, but it could be a bit challenging to what we have currently going. Because essentially my brother was like, yeah, you're gonna have to stop being selfish and be more selfless so you can kind of navigate into that place of purpose, all right? So having a mentor, that's one. Second, allowing them to help unlock what's inside of you. And then three, like, listen, my brother shared that, I got clarity and all of that. There's still some anxiousness. There's still some of that there. And it's just because we have clarity and guidance from a mentor doesn't mean that the transition, that's point three I want to make, the transition will still be ours to take and still have its challenges. So it's not that, I did feel like the monkey was off my back. Yep, true. But I still have some things I'm anxious about just because it's unknown. So the transition will still have its challenges. And lastly, number four, I would say, keep God in it, right? Pray, ask for guidance, and allow God to not only give you the courage, but also, to give you peace that he's going to keep you regardless. God has kept you up to this point. Is he not going to be faithful to guide you through the rest, and through the transition and through the rest and so on and so on? Of course he is. It's a rhetorical question because God is good and he's faithful and he's going to protect us and he's going to lead us and guide us as we seek to, live this life in a way that pleases him. And so that's just what I wanted to say. Find you someone or a group of people. I would say keep it intimate as much as possible, so you could be as vulnerable and transparent when you're talking about what you're feeling, what you're experiencing. But have some people in your life that are older and wiser and has seen more life than you, or been where you are, or been where you're trying to go, and they can just kind of guide you and give you some predictable outcomes and some things to be to look out for. And keep that line of communication open. Keep it open. I reach out to my brother every here and there, but the line of communication is always open for critique, for guidance, even just for a reminder of love. Like, I reach out, hey bro, I love you, man. I want to let you know. And my brother's busy. He got a family and everything, a wife and children, a job, and he's serving at his church. He's busy, but we keep that line of communication open, whether we talk, a month or it's been 3 months, which is rarely that. But at the end of the day, the line of communication opens so that when we do speak, it's like we're just hopping right in. And I don't want to say it's a masculine thing, but when I talked to him, it wasn't a whole bunch of hoopla. It was like, hey, bro, I want to talk to you about something. And we just dive right in. So when we keep that line of communication open with someone who's done more life, someone who has wisdom, someone who values pouring into us, listen, it's going to be powerful. It's powerful. That's just what it is. It unlocks us. And just want to give you that practical wisdom and guidance for your life, no matter where you are, no matter where you're striving to be. There's someone in the land, in the earth, that God has that can speak into your life in a spiritual way and in a practical way to get you where you're striving to go. All right? And to help you be to help you be all that God has created, gifted, and redeemed you to be. And as I always say, no matter what you've experienced in the past or what you're experiencing now, always know there's hope. See you next time. Gonna fall down, but you